PPC Asia Corporation versus Department of Trade and Industry Secretary Ramon M. Lopez, Usec Rowel S. Barba, and Luis Barok Biraogo, GR number 246439, September 8, 2020. The facts of the case are as follows. In 2015, respondent Luis Barok Biraogo filed a consumer complaint with the Department of Trade and Industry Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau against several importers and distributors, including PPC Asia Corporation. Now, he alleged that the lead-acid batteries sold by these companies were substandard, citing that his motorcycle battery had to be replaced multiple times within a short period. Now, Biraogo requested that the DTI conduct a confirmatory test on the batteries and impose sanctions on the importers, citing violations of Republic Act number 7394 or the Consumer Act of the Philippines. Now, the DTI FTEB dismissed the complaint on the grounds of lack of legal standing and cause of action, reasoning that Biraogo failed to prove that the batteries he purchased were the same ones tested, and a certification issued by the Bureau of Philippine Standards, or BPS, for the batteries should prevail over private testing results. Now, on appeal, the DTI reversed the decision and ordered an immediate test of the batteries, finding that Biraogo's evidence was sufficient to establish consumer prejudice. PPC Asia Corporation challenged this ruling before the Court of Appeals, which dismissed the petition due to several procedural deficiencies, including the failure to attach necessary documents and to file a motion for reconsideration. PPC then elevated the case to the Supreme Court, arguing that the Court of Appeals erred in dismissing its petition based on technicalities instead of addressing the merits. It also claimed that the DTI violated its right to process by reinstating the consumer complaint without allowing the company an opportunity to oppose it. So the issue of this case is whether or not procedural lapses such as the petitioner's failure to attach relevant documents and failure to file a motion for reconsideration would justify the dismissal of a certiorari petition even when substantive arguments are raised. So the court held that yes, procedural lapses such as petitioner's failure to attach relevant documents and failure to file a motion for consideration would justify the dismissal of a certiorari petition even when substantive arguments are raised. So the Supreme Court denied the petition, upholding the Court of Appeals' decision to dismiss the case based on procedural deficiencies. Now, the court emphasized that procedural rules, such as attaching the required documents, are essential in ensuring the orderly administration of justice. PPC Asia Corporation's failure to attach the complaint, position paper, and appeal memorandum were sufficient grounds for the dismissal of the petition. Moreover, the court noted that PPC had not shown any attempt to comply with these requirements, even when it sought reconsideration. So the Supreme Court also found that PPC's claim of a denial of due process was unsubstantiated. The DTI's order for a battery test was a procedural step that did not constitute a final judgment on the merits. Furthermore, PPC's participation in the proceedings refuted any claim of being denied the opportunity to be heard. Now, in relation to the strict adherence to procedural rules, the failure to attach relevant documents required by the rules of procedure is sufficient ground for the dismissal of a petition. So this doctrine emphasizes that procedural requirements are integral to the orderly conduct of cases and cannot be disregarded. So as to due process requirements or process in administrative proceedings, a party's participation in administrative proceedings negates any claim of being denied the right to due process. This principle affirms that due process is fulfilled as long as a party has the opportunity to participate and present its case, even if the outcome is not favorable. Hence, the Supreme Court denied the petition, affirming the Court of Appeals resolutions dismissing PCC's petition for certiorari. So the case was remanded to the Office of the Secretary of Trade and Industry for further proceedings.